everybody, welcome back to another episode of Ideally Though.
Ideally, though.
I'm your host, Erika, and with me is my hubby, my bestie, my butterbiscuit.
Yeah. What up?
We at the end of the week.
Yes.
It's the freaking weekend.
Yes.
I hope everybody had a good week.
So far so good actually.
It's been busy.
It's been busy, but like a good busy for me. Like I'm feeling real nice about this. Like this week has been productive. Like I'm excited. It's a brand new like month. For like I'm feeling real good. This is a real good opportunity right at this moment in time for me.
I'm happy it's the weekend. I'm only weeks away from my vacay.
Yes.
I can't wait to get out of dirty US.
You do have a few events coming up this month. It's going to be eventful for you in general.
I know. I've made myself very unavailable this year.
That's fair to say.
I'm excited. I never understand when people, they never traveled, they never been anywhere but maybe like next door, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm like, there's such this big world, and I'm gonna slowly try to conquer it. One paycheck at a time.
A cool goal is to visit each country we have a listener in.
That would be cool,
right?
I want to go to France. I want to go to Indonesia.
Shout out.
I want to go to Australia.
Shout out.
I want to go to Canada.
Shout out.
I want to go to Philippines.
Shout out. We gonna check you out.
I did say Australia, right?
Yeah.
Iran.
It's a few. South Africa was one of them, right?
Africa, yeah. I think Cameroon was one. Kenya, I think, was another.
It's pretty sick. So shout out to
y'all.
I'm
trying to actually hit like China, South Africa.
I'm a little weird. You might have to
Brazil.
go on one of them by yourself.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
I'm kidding.
If I have some listeners out there,
I mean, everybody. Yeah, for sure. It's really dope to see. So, I mean, that's a goal for like at least a travel purpose, because I mean, getting outside of your own comfort zone is kind of like I guess the spice of life, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I mean, you know what? I looked online at those solo travel packages where there's like 8 people who do solo trips. Because sometimes people don't want to do things that you want to do. Like, what if I wanted to go to like Iceland or something? Or I can't go to Antarctica, can I?
No, that's
illegal.
Yeah.
So where was a whole bunch of ice and I'm doing white girl things, right? So I was looking at solo trips because you never know. Maybe I'm just like, maybe I'll go, and then that's how I meet friends, because I ain't got no friends.
I mean, you got me. Solo trip by yourself to Antarctica would be absolutely crazy. I'd never see you again.
You don't know that.
No, I know that. That's illegal.
I'll become a researcher.
It's like shoot on sight illegal.
Well, no, I'm saying whatever they allow you to do at the package, motherfucker.
I know, I'm kidding. But the fact that you asked that question means it was thought in your head.
I ain't trying to live on the edge like that.
I mean,
like if I snuck into like North Korea.
That would be.
I don't know how I do that.
Wild.
Because I feel like only Asian and white people can go to North Korea.
Dennis Rodman also.
Did he go?
Yeah, Dennis. They are like he's cool. He cool out there.
I would just say I'm Dennis Rodman's
like
sister.
I think diplomat cool almost.
That's gross.
It's pretty fucking crazy. Yeah.
That's gross. I don't know. When you think about Northern Lights and just like the beauty of certain parts of the world, it's like, oh man, I want to experience.
Those are places all those places you mentioned. I actually do want to go to. So there wouldn't be like a solo opportunity unless we were like solo in general. So.
You know how you have older people and they more on the white side. They be doing stuff like like hiking by themselves across. They'll do
backpacking like that
Appalachian Trail or whatever.
Yeah.
I can see myself being like that.
Yeah,
just a little, maybe one trip or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Did you ever end up watching Quiet on Set?
I ended up watching a lot of the clips.
You a hot mess.
I didn't get to. Hey, look, I am a busy man.
Oh, is that everybody say you're busy? I'm so tired of men saying they busy.
Shit, when you out here really actually busy and building shit, that's different.
There's always a little time, a little sections of time. Men be talking about they so goddamn.
Yeah, and you know what? Let me say this: my time, I spent it well watching those clips.
Okay.
Because I know, I actually understand the context of things, and what was interesting is I've seen, as of recent, I've seen Amanda Bynes speak about.
Oh, did she?
Yes. I've seen Kenan Thompson speak up about that
on the Tamara Hall
show
or something like that.
And they both handled it, I feel like, really respectfully, like that, like in certain instances, and a few others actually that I've seen.
I like that Kenan Thompson's response. It didn't happen with me, but I still
Exactly.
I have I feel for those people.
Yeah.
You know, it's gross, and y'all need to do y'all background checks. And he was very empathetic.
Yes, very empathetic. He understood it, and I think he handled that respectfully and well. I think like no bridges were burned, and things were and opportunities were still kept for him in his own way, and he stood on his truth, and I can respect that about him. I can definitely respect that.
I think the only thing that I didn't talk about last time when it came to us reviewing the show was the letters. The problem I have, not just with letters for Brian Peck, is for people in general who commit these or they're in court because of crimes that they're getting accused of, and people are writing letters. If people, to me, and this is just me, if you're getting accused of murdering someone, if you're getting accused of touching someone, I don't care if we're best friends. I have some morals here, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stay out of it. I don't want to talk about your character with me because honestly, everybody acts different with everybody.
Yeah.
I might act different with you because you're my husband, so you see a lot of me. With friends, they might only see the friend side of me.
Right.
On the mom side, you don't show all your demons to everybody. That's just not what happens.
Right.
So it's just so nasty when people are like, well, he's always been a great person. It's like, yeah, to you, because there's some kind of business relationship.
I feel like there's a way to say that and be like exactly like Hakeem did. There's a way to say like the person I know, he's a great person, but this side of him is disgusting, and then you can absolutely vilify.
I'm not talking,
those acts.
I'm not putting no letters in.
I get what you're saying, and I respect that. That's your insight on it, right? That's your opinion about it. I'm saying if that's not the avenue that person goes down, and if you mean to say something, it's fair to speak to your experience. It's fair to speak to your experience because I said the same thing about the Ashton Kutcher, whatever the fuck, Mila Kunis thing, right? Where like, okay, fair to do the character thing. It's fair, whatever. However, you think that's wrong, right? It's still wrong that they did that. So say something about that.
I think though, when those letters get turned into the lawyer, they can shift through and say, oh, no. I'm pretty sure there's people who said, to me, they've been great, but if it's nasty what they did, they didn't check them letters out. So you only get the people who just talk towards
who cares? That I'm just saying whenever I do say words mean things and you stand 10 toes down, stand on the word. You can say what you want to, and that's because that is your experience. I can't denounce your experience.
Well, my thing is people want to backpedal once they get caught, or these now things are coming to light with people writing letters. You might as well just not do it. If someone said, oh, my best friend did this, or not even best friend, like this is somebody I worked on several movies with, can you write a letter? What is he getting accused of is my first question. What is he getting accused of? Oh, he's getting accused of touching a little bit. Nah, player. No, I'm not talking to nothing because I don't want my letter to get perceived as I think he's a good guy and he didn't do this, because that's the perception. Right. So I'm sorry, I'm not writing no letters.
I get what you I get exactly what you mean, but I'm different in saying like if I have something to say and you're asking me to say something and it's about something that's important, like hey, can you denounce this or whatever the fuck, right? Like this shit's nastiness. Like this the kids are getting touched and people are being assaulted and it's gross. Like denounce this. Yeah, that wasn't my experience with the shit. It's the same thing Kenan Thompson does. That's why I said there's a right way to handle the situation.
It is a right way. I'm just not gonna write no letters.
And that's totally. I didn't say you're wrong.
Yeah, like if you're gonna
I'm tripping, but I'm not saying you're wrong.
Listen, on a public platform, I'm gonna say that wasn't my experience. Right. But for someone's lawyer to say, can you write a letter so he can get a lesser sentence?
That's gross.
I'm not, that's what
I would never do that type of
shit. That's
shit.
what the letters are for.
However, but there's other cases wherein somebody's just going to stand up for someone and be like, hey, that's wrong. That's my friend. And they're standing 10 toes down in the wrongest of ways. And I don't agree with that. Yeah. That type of stuff I don't agree with. And even if you're doing it to lessen somebody's sentence or whatever, announce that shit's wrong. That's nastiness. You need just to get that nastiness out.
I'm just thinking about all the time celebrities have backpedaled because they liked a post and they was like, oh, sorry, no, I'm not anti-Semitic. I clicked on the post, just like Jennifer Anderson with the whole Jamie Foxx thing. then just don't do it at all. Because things come back to haunt you. There's people who are like unsubscribing to like the Boy Meets World podcast.
I don't like living in the fear of that.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is who I am as a person. I'm not gonna write a letter for. Don't think I'm not your letter writing friend. Sorry, bro. What did you get accused of? What do they got you?
Oh no, do they got you?
No, sorry. I'm here for you in spirit.
Do they got you is really funny.
I'm here with you in spirit. Just like the whole like Usher, when Usher went to Bali to hang out with Russell Simmons. I'm pretty sure Usher did not say, post me. And he like, oh, Usher, here's to support me. Nah, player, I ain't. I came here for meditation and relaxation. Okay? Don't post me like because people gonna start trying to put my brand with yours. And nah, player, that ain't what it is. So that's why I think people should ask people. That's another instance. When you in the hot water, don't tell people who's come to see you. Because then you kind of, unfortunately, you're ringing them in with your bad.
That's all I hate.
Sorry, no.
I know. That's like the era we're in, and you're basically like reading the room as it is and taking.
I'm not messing up my career for you.
It's the reality of the situation because that's the times we're in. And I hate that. I totally disagree on that.
With certain accusations, I'm not going to be talking to you.
Yeah. Yes, granted. Like when wrong is wrong, it's fucking wrong. I think I'm saying that obviously and making it clear. But like also you are free to like, feel and say what you feel about the situation. Just do the right thing about it.
I'm looking at a publicist side of things, I think, but I'm also looking at moral side. Yeah, I'm never because I wasn't in the room. I wasn't in the room, so I can't say what happened and what not. Right. But I take it serious when people say that they've been touched or someone got murdered.
Yeah, no, that's a whole nother.
Why are they pointing the finger at you?
The situation with the dad and how he broke down actually did make me cry.
Oh, for Drake Bell.
Yes, because that situation is on. It's like there's a weight of his where, like, I've never wanted. Not to make light of it though. Yeah. But like to be honest, I've never wanted a DeLorean with a flex capacitor so badly in my life.
To go back.
To just go back in time and immediately stop it where it stands. Not caring about any other fucking type of butterfly effect. Fuck that bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can see that level in his eyes. And as a father who genuinely loves his kids, like they are my everything. I could see that in him. That broke me. That literally broke me. I did cry. And I was like, wow. Those clips there were really hard for me to watch, actually.
Yeah, that's
I got through them. Because just to do the respect of it all, just to understand, like, the scope of just bullshit.
Yeah.
That these people, dude.
I think that's why you have to do your research on things. I know some people came out and said, well, I was, not say conned, but I was misled with the letters. Then that's what I'm saying. Take a step back and say, I'm going to have to think about this and look at both sides.
It's all gross. It's all gross. I think, why isn't there more talk about Dan at all? We need a little more conversation going out here about Dan. Dan is nasty.
I think because Dan ain't been accused of touching no kids.
No, but he's hiring folks. He
said, well, to him, it was...
He hiring folks to hire folks.
Yeah. In his defense, not in his defense, but he's saying it was the company.
No, we need more. No, there's because now that this stuff has actually come up, the sleuths have gone out.
Oh yeah,
the internet sleuths have gone out and about, and there's a lot more. I guess you could say or retrospective pieces or whatever that are popping up now, specifically about Mr. Schneider themselves. And his activities behind the scenes and how they are just enabling all the rest of the stuff. So, instead of just cutting off the cancer, let's cut the head off.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Completely. I think that's kind of the way.
He looked like he liked to have sex with liquid cheese and shit. He's just weird. He's a whole weirdo.
It's all really. It makes you think really different when it comes to like Nickelodeon Gak and all that. Like it feels real nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't like the fact that a lot of my childhood is being spoiled in all these different ways.
I'm a rerun whore, right? But that one, I'm not rewatching.
It just sucks on so many levels. Like there's a lot of things that I grew up loving. Just Nickelodeon aside, we're talking about all spectrums of media at this point now. It's all nastiness. It's fucking gross.
You know who came up on Instagram and he wanted to see how everybody feeling? was Steve from Blue's Clues. He said, "How y'all feeling?" Because he ain't get touched, because he would have shoved a paw print in somebody's ass.
Not a paw print.
He said, "I just look like this, hairline and all. Fuck with me if you want to. I'm over here in this big blue house." I mean, I don't think it was blue.
Nigga, that's two different channels.
My bad. You know what I'm saying.
Bear in the big blue house.
Dang, I love that damn. That was my sister's shit.
Man, Blue's Clues.
Well,
you are dumb. That's hilarious.
I mean, another person with the crazy accusations is the Diddy thing. I mean, we all know that his house got raided, but recently on the Godfrey podcast, there is audio he has of. It sounds like P. Diddy having sex with maybe Meek Mills. Now, could that just be something? I have a question. Could that just be some AI shit, though? Could it be? Or could it be real?
Yeah, it could be. Listen.
Meek Mill coming for your
This
scalp.
is a very iffy situation because over time, going back to and like looking at different pictures, and then if you go back and like listen to certain things that have been said on certain songs. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying names to be very vague. I'm being vague on purpose. I'm sorry. I love you, but I am being vague on purpose, okay? But if you listen to certain songs by certain people, there are certain bars and lyrics in there that will hint at things that have happened.
Like kind of like R. Kelly with stuff, right? Like you want to get caught. Mm-hmm. What is the urge of almost getting caught?
It's so weird that this is like a real self-snitchy era.
Because it's your guilty conscience. That's
so weird.
That's Jesus.
But I mean, hey, maybe that is.
It's kind of like the streets need a body, and you just gotta telling your whole life. Damn, I shocked this.
Shut up, baby.
You know, like what? I don't know. I haven't listened to the audio yet, but a part of me thought it could be AI and it could be fake.
Now listen, I'm gonna let you know now. When we had discussed this quickly, just in passing, I had actually listened. I did actually hear.
Why didn't you tell me?
I did actually hear.
What, did it sound good?
That has got to. It doesn't. I'll say this. It doesn't sound like them at all, to my ear.
To your ear.
And you know, I do have a good ear for things. I'll say that.
Well, I heard it sound like him.
I'll say that, but it does sound like it's off. And what I mean by off is it sounds like it sounds like there's clearly things that they're under the influence of that will make them sound off, if that makes sense. So slurred and a lot more intense than normal and things of that nature. So even vocally, they sound like themselves, but not. It's really interesting.
Like they're under the influence.
Yeah, it's really interesting because there's also to a degree, it sounds old and manipulated. Like there's like radio static clicks in it and shit. It's weird.
If somebody was like trying to film it without being heard, then that would sound like a pocket or something.
In theory, if there's a lot more movement, I've thought about a lot of this too.
But who would be actually recording that in the room while you watching somebody?
Funnily enough, I saw an interview. DJ Academics actually went over this. I don't got time for him. DJ Academics went over this because he's been hinting at the Meek Mill and the Diddy stuff for a while. Let's say that. Okay. For a while. He was going over this, and there was an interview that he was reacting to with one of Diddy's bodyguards who was talking, or in a live with, I can't remember what artist it was, but he was basically saying, like, nigga, every bottle and every glass of champagne has something in it, and I don't drink. But everybody was slurred, and they was in there, and I saw it, so I put the motherfucking thing in the pocket. Exactly what you said, which is what hinted at. So it feels like this audio could possibly hint to something real.
I'm bringing out B.O.B.
It's very, very gross and very weird because they already have pseudo-confirmed, I guess you could say, the hidden cameras in all the places, right? So, I mean, cameras do have audio.
Well, no homo, do it sound sexy?
I'll say, like, I don't know, unless you're into that. It sounds...
I'm into it.
It sounds incredibly... It sounds like Clash of the Titans, in my opinion.
I don't like that. I like sensual.
It sounds like Clash of the Titans, in my opinion. That's why I said intense. I was very... very descriptive with my wording on a deliberate reasoning. Like, it was very disturbing. I don't know. It's some nastiness that goes about. I mean, a lot of people are coming out as far as like assisting with the case.
Oh yeah, I've seen that Cassie is now like kind of helping the feds. This is my thing. That's why it goes back to my publicity kind of uh, mindset. I could be cool with Diddy, but then you think it's cool to be with him now?
No.
The only person who's standing by his side is Stevie J because he got something to lose.
Yeah, he does have something to lose.
Because he nasty. I know he is.
No.
So why would I'm not going to be in fire?
But then let's put this at a caveat, because let's say then we have brand deals with these people. Are the brands not supposed to say anything about this and have their bottom line affected, or say something like, "Hey, we are no longer, we denounce," and that's the type of shit. Yes, so again, you're supposed, there's a right way to do the situation. You see what I'm saying?
I'm saying, yeah, denounce it, but I was talking more so about the whole letter thing.
But you did add, but you were, yeah, I know what you're saying, but would you were asking like, hey, would you do this for Diddy? No, but I'm also saying, like, to a degree, if someone did do that and then say, hey, that shit's fucked up, I didn't know this was you, and yada yada yada, because I knew you as this, there's a way to frame it. There's only a way to frame it, because, hey, I knew him as this, and this shatters me, and I don't agree.
Yeah, you know what I mean? In the public eye, but
that could be in that fucking letter, and then if you don't use it, you don't use it. But I know what I'm saying, and that I'm one who stands on my word.
I think I can say that in the public eye without I'm not doing the letter.
Right. I get you.
I don't want my words to be used somehow to help him.
But
you know, who knows if people are chopping up my letter.
What's real interesting, and what you had hinted at, and a lot of people, like I said, I've actually been watching this a little close. Have already mentioned, like, not a lot of people are sitting out there saying anything, and I mean, it could hint to like two things. You either got a skeleton in your closet and you're scared and don't want to implicate you or anybody else, or, you know what I mean, you just don't know him as such. But it would be very, very ugly right now to say anything other than that.
Stevie J he was talking on Instagram a couple of days ago, and he said, "This is the party I know," and it was like LA. It doesn't count if LA Reezy is throwing the party. This is not thrown by Diddy. Your example doesn't work. Your example does not work. We talking about the late night rendezvous at 2:00 in the morning that go until 2 p.m. the next day. We talking about them bitches on the boat.
Yeah.
Not the ones where everybody's invited.
These instances in the internet clips, and these instances of like Diddy touching folks and shit, like Mike Tyson and all this other bullshit. That they were on like the Tonight Show, and like Diddy went to like touch like his knee or some shit, and like Mike
saw that,
like scooted over and like sat a different way, because, you know, Mike ain't.
That's what I'm saying. He ain't gonna go for that.
You know what I mean? Like, why are you trying to do that, Diddy? That's some nasty.
If I was at a party, I'd be like, listen, it do get wild, but I don't remember it, because every time I go there and drink,
my butt hurt.
I get loosey goosey. I'm paralyzed for at least 72 hours.
That shit.
Just be honest about that, because it seems like people may not know what, if you're going to an exclusive party, this is me, a party that people don't know about, then people ain't going to talk about it because they don't probably remember, or it's just you ashamed of what you did.
It's really interesting that, like, Cassie's stepping forward and going to actually, like, help out with the
she would know better than anybody.
And everything that's been coming out as far as documentation goes has been very interesting to look at and go through. I mean, with a lot of different individuals, high and low, implicated on a lot of interesting things.
Yeah.
Lucian Grange and shit like that. Meek Mill being in there. Christian Combs is getting, apparently.
They say that he be helping him get underage girls.
Yo, what?
Now, this is the thing. The mom stepped out. I think, I don't know which one it is. He's a little short, light-skinned one. His mom kind of came forward and was like, she thinks it's just crazy that, you know, with the amount of force they're using for her sons and things like that. And I understand that. I'm pretty sure if you just knocked on the door and said, hey, we have a search warrant. Is your father here? No, he's not. Okay. We know the age of the kids, and you can look that up before you go. They probably are not going to try to give you any trouble. Tell them to step out. Say, you detained right here outside in this lawn. Who else is in the house? it don't have to be you busting and scaring people. Because if somebody busts in my house, I'm scared. I'm like, I need to go for the heater.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so
I agree with you. I agree with you. Don't get me wrong. I think what the caveat is here, because I felt the same way because I watched Cynthia Bailey's ex husband. What's that nigga's name?
Peter.
Yeah, I watched Peter's live about it because he was actually discussing it because apparently him and Diddy are close friends, and he was discussing his feelings about things, and he said that he felt like the way Homeland Security came to Diddy's place and how they've been approaching the kids uh, felt very racially skewed
Yeah, because you're
and
scared of black
incentivized.
people.
And I get it. I get it within the moment, but I also tend to disagree because on certain aspects, if you are if there's any level of
Trafficking.
there,
Gotcha.
you know what I'm saying? They have to be ready for
I
that type
thought
of
about
stuff.
that too. I said, if they're thinking
Yeah.
trafficking, then yeah, you need to bust up the ring because it might be in one of these
Because
houses.
the second we let you know that we're coming, or if we're politely knocking at the door, it's the second you start like hiding people and moving people through tunnels, or like hiding the shit. You go flush the coke down the toilet. You know what I'm saying?
And I've done that.
And,
I mean, I haven't.
I feel like the amount of for the level of concern they had for Homeland Security to come knock at the door, it makes sense.
That makes sense. But then it's like Diddy is online and having a party with Stevie J as his right hand man, like you taunting a little bit. And let's not taunt. Sit your ass down. Stay low key.
Well, I mean, we did.
I don't say taunt, but funny, it's like you having a whole party.
I agree with you because I'm just thinking to myself, why do niggas who are doing that nasty shit do this? Because it only makes me think about R. Kelly doing his nastiness, and then the cases start popping up a little more, right? And then he go out to Africa and start asking bitches if they got their shots. He was singing at a concert in Africa and asking people if they got their shots and if you want to come back to Africa at a concert. What? That was like a thing. Yes.
I never heard
that. That is a thing. Shortly after being like, hey, we're going to like indict you, my guy, and all this other bullshit, he was on a stage in Africa asking, like singing to the crowd, did you get your shots? And all this stuff to these girls.
He's literally like how Dave Chappelle always made fun of him. He really does that.
Why party and shit in a matter of, you should stay your ass at home, just close up.
But the problem is that, you know, these celebrities, men, they get these egos like, I'm untouchable.
It's because craziness.
How long we known about R. Kelly but never said nothing? For at least a decade and a half, right? Before he really stuff started happening. He already have been hit with things before. So he's like, they ain't got me. And Diddy's feeling like that too. He's feeling like I have money. I'm unstoppable. People been knew about me. I've been here about stuff. This ain't the first time this has happened.
Yeah.
It's just now more publicized because we're in an era where people are posting and stuff like that. He thinks he's untouchable. But I give it the next couple years. This is just the beginning.
What's really interesting is this would not be happening if it wasn't for a law that got changed maybe, I want to say 3 to 4 years ago. And I remember a short conversation we and you did have about this, but they changed the law, particularly saying that like the statute of limitations on sexual assault crimes no longer applies. Like you can go back. And that was around the time Trump started getting his like cases popping up, right?
It seemed like it was around Bill Cosby.
So now niggas in New York, you can see everything's starting to come up about a lot of politicians, a lot of nasty niggas and shit, right?
Think about things in the 60s and 70s. They were doing things like feeling like they're unstoppable, right?
That Studio 54 shit,
right,
bro.
Right. Like I can have sex with actresses and tell them they're going to get a part and not, and you know, and drug them, and never thinking that, damn, hold on, I'm 85 years old.
Yo, I swear to God,
I changed my ways.
I ain't gonna wish this on nobody, but as
I wish it on all my
a joke aside, yo, if we end up getting the Quaalude jumper Quincy Jones story, some shit, because everybody has said there's some nastiness that has gone out about a lot of those people.
Don't talk about Quincy Jones.
That's why I said it was a joke. But if we end up getting that, because that's the type of behaviors and shit, and a lot of these people have been getting called to the carpet now.
Well, we won't get a Diddy documentary.
Did he do it?
That is a thing now. Like the hashtag on Insta.
It makes sense. Why wouldn't you capitalize on that?
What do you expect? What's your predictions by the end of the year?
Okay. They're definitely gonna end up making an example of him if anything has come up. Like, okay,
Examples are Kelly.
What's
That's
really interesting is I'm seeing
Bill
so many
Cosby
people.
example.
I'm seeing so many people say two different things. There's the tinfoil hat people, and I'll tell you that one. But then there's the like, hey yo, if something's up, like he's going to jail. Like that's gonna be like really bad.
It's the fall of Shanjong.
Yeah, that's it. Like that empire, people are gonna. It's gonna be some crazy shit, and then the documentaries and shit that will books and all that shit that will come out later will explain a lot of stuff. We're gonna hear about it, right? But then there's the tinfoil hatters who are like, again with his like case with like his Ciroc and all that stuff, right? And he's under the microscope, and he's made the wrong people angry, and now they're after him, and they only broke into his house to get evidence that could implicate them in doing Nazi stuff, and then leaving him behind. So, like, it's some weirdness.
He's the one who said he's the real Lucius Johnson. I mean, Lucius Lyon. You said that was your life.
Yeah.
So now we find out you killed Biggie. You have your son. You have a gay son that you don't like. You having them sex traffic people. You're killing off your competitor. I knew I felt weird when I drank Ciroc.
I knew I felt strange.
I felt weird drinking Ciroc in the club back in the early 2000s. But
I find, listen, I'm always open to hear everything. I'm always interested in learning all of it, and then coming up with my own ideas of things. And the tinfoil hat stuff I listen to only because I find that shit funny and interesting. That's funny and it's stupid. Whatever. Whatever happens, Homeland Security coming. I just want the evidence displayed to get the information out, so I know and have a firm understanding. Like, this nigga's nasty. I've heard things. I have my concepts and thoughts about it. I think he's nasty, but we gonna go off of what's going off of. It's such a gross situation, but I'm like Michael Jackson in the theater eating popcorn right now.
I have a prediction that at least one big ass surprise will come out of this. Like he was responsible for Tupac and or Biggie
or Kim. There's that one floating around now
Kim
too. Miss Porter. Kim Porter.
That one too.
Yeah.
It's something a wow about somebody dead that he's involved in.
That's what
that is the big wow factor.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us think he could have been involved with the Kim Porter. There was too much of a surprise. How this woman, who seems to me, and I don't know her health, but like seemed pretty healthy, and then all of a sudden she dropped, and I just don't get it.
I mean,
you have kids, but then you want to be Lucius Lyon.
I'll be sure just said that he was responsible for like Diddy putting him in the coma he was in.
What?
Yeah.
I saw that, but I was, man.
So this is what I'm saying. And again, these niggas like to snitch on these bars. So who knows if this Meek Mill shit that have been said on certain bars and things is true or not? Because niggas have said on many occasions.
But do you think that it could be, because this is another point of view, getting paid to say it? He could easily be getting paid to say it.
Yeah, totally. He could be getting paid to say it. I mean,
I'm playing devil's advocate.
Do you sell your soul?
A lot of people sell their soul.
That's gross. I don't want to do that.
It's Illuminati all day.
I don't like it. That's not my type of behavior.
It's Hollywood. We don't.
Oh no, I know that. That's expected. So I don't. I mean, you have all that shit, but I don't think that's it. I don't know what is. It's all very entertaining to me. I'm like chomping at the bit normally, but I do have my own like thoughts about it, and I think he's nasty. I think there could be some surprises in that sense. I'm kind of leaning on the Kim Porter situation too, because she looked healthy. But that's just me. We will see.
I really hope the boys don't get indicted with this.
Oof.
But you're grown, so I mean, sometimes we feel like our parents are doing the right thing.
Dude, imagine
if you
indicting
do this,
your kids on some
you'll
shit
be like me. Sometimes you can kind of manipulate your son.
Yeah.
That's why Quincy don't be around. Nah, play. I ain't part of that.
Hey, Al, sure said, "Come home, son."
I'd be like, no.
Come home to Papa.
Now, this is the thing. How absent were you in my life? because you can say that all day, but I'm like, I'm not fucking with you either.
Yeah, but then you can have the excuse like, you know that nigga put me in a coma, right?
I'm like, listen, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
He was dangerous, son. I couldn't
That
reach
ain't got
you.
nothing to do with me. My mama gone and you wasn't there.
I was in a coma.
No, come on.
I get it, but like, if he's that dangerous enough to put me in a coma, I don't know what else he's capable of or how he can harm you. I maybe could not have gotten.
Maybe I need to go undercover.
You ain't a daddy. You don't know.
I need to go undercover. I'm gonna be in New York for a couple weeks. If you don't hear from me,
well, good luck.
I done seen things that
if
no man can see.
Hey, if I hear a Meek Mill tape and you,
it was a wild ride.
Hey, don't drink the Ciroc.
I'm telling you, make you feel a little woozy. Did you have any last words of wisdom you want to give to a baby girl before we head out? We talking about Diddy.
The Ciroc.
I could talk about Diddy all day. You said
that was it. That's my tip.
Did you ever like Ciroc?
Hell no.
It was okay.
Nah, was
you
not a fan.
It was real popular in the early 2000s, especially when we first like graduated, and then we were turning 21. It was like the hype.
Yeah, I was not a fan.
It was okay.
No, that shit was garbage, and I mean, and now look what it is. You know what I'm saying?
All right, you guys. Well, remember, we drop our new episodes every Friday, audio-wise, on all streaming platforms.
Yep.
And we are on YouTube at DiddyDoIt Pod on Sundays. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell button.
Share that shit.
Have a great weekend. Turn up. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Yeah. That was fun.
Just Diddy.